My name is Kevin Gelwicks. I'm a fish biologist for the Wyoming Game and Fish Department, and it's my pleasure today to be interviewing Wayne Hubert, Hall of Excellence member of the American Fisheries Society. Wayne, how did you become involved in the American Fisheries Society, and why did you decide to be part of the fisheries management section?
Well, I joined American Fisheries Society in 1972 after I got my master's degree and went to work for the Tennessee Valley Authority. While I was working for them, I went to the first meeting ever that I had attended in Knoxville, Tennessee, the Southern Division of AFS, and just realized this was a group that I wanted to interact with, participate in. And it was only later, when the fisheries management section was created, that I was one of the original members of it.
How did being involved with AFS help your career?
It helped my career in many ways. I think it taught me professionalism, how to interact with people, how to, maintain ethics in science and research, how to just network with individuals that are of like mind and like interests, and many more things. I could go on and on.
Did you have a mentor or individuals who greatly influenced your career?
I grew up at a time during the baby boom, when there was very large classes in schools, and I think we developed at that time a sink or swim type of attitude, and really did not have an opportunity to have a mentor until graduate school, and even then it was not a close mentor, not somebody that was your confidant. It was a little bit different times, and it's good to see things have evolved so that mentorship is considered part of the professional activities.
Did you ever consider other careers, and why?
Well, I started out with a bachelor's degree in biology and education and taught high school before I became a fish biologist. And it was only while I was teaching in high school in a rural school in Illinois that I met people at the Illinois Natural History Survey and realized that a profession in fisheries and wildlife was possible.
How did you think AFS can help prepare our profession for the challenges ahead?
Well, in many ways, I think that first and foremost is that AFS can identify the issues and problems of the future. And that's done through the research and management activities of people. And then also to guide students as to what they need to be learning, what they need to focus on in their educations. And going even beyond that, guiding universities so that they will maintain appropriate programs.
What does being inducted into the Hall of Excellence mean to you?
Somewhat overwhelming. I was included with a group of people that I would consider my heroes, the people that I really looked up to. It's overwhelming to be part of that group. All I can say is it's probably one of the high points of my whole life.
What do you believe is your biggest contribution to fisheries?
Well, that's easy. My biggest contribution is probably the 80 or so students that I mentored as their advisor or co-advisor. And they're all working professionally in some capacity, maybe not directly in fisheries. Many have moved beyond fisheries to administration, or some have even moved into other forms of education. But they bring the notions of fishery science to what they do today.
What words of wisdom do you share with students and young biologists?
Don't know where to begin or end. I would say when it comes to students and biologists, one thing is learn to be adaptable. Learn to roll with the punches, but to not just focus on one area of specialization, but to adapt to the things that are developing in our country. The other things that I would say is never quit learning. Continuing education, attendance at AFS meetings, all things like that provide you better background. Another piece of advice is develop those what we might call soft skills, speaking and writing skills. Professional activities all involve those things, and as trained scientists we often tend to neglect them.
I'd like to ask your thoughts about other inductees. Which fellow inductees influenced you the most, and how?
There are so many inductees that I could go on and on. But I would say probably one person that had the most influence on me was Ken Carlander. Ken was a faculty member at Iowa State University at the same time that I was there. He was at the terminus of his career while I was a young buck, and I got to know him as a scientist, as a teacher, but most of all, I got to see him as a gentleman, a real gentleman. And probably among all the people that are within the Hall of Excellence, he's the one that I would admire the most, or because of my personal relationship with him.